I'm Kimberly. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to share everything that I sewed up in the month of October, and I also wanted to go over my sewing plans for this month of November. I started the month by sewing up 2 Hansie tops. The Hansie top is a woven t-shirt pattern that is free through Seamwork.com. I've now made this pattern 3 times, and I can say that it's not only a very straightforward and well-detailed sewing pattern, but I find it to be a really quick and satisfying sew. There's a facing along the neckline, which I feel adds a really professional finish. And then there's darts on the bust, which also just add a very gentle shaping to the t-shirt. It makes it a little bit more flattering, and although it still is a boxy style t-shirt, it just adds kind of a gentle shaping to the silhouette. For the first shirt, I used this organic cotton chambray from Blackbird Fabrics. It's in a really nice light blue colorway. Hopefully you can see it in the camera. There's kind of a glare because of the light, just the time of the day and where I'm recording in my house, but hopefully you can kind of see what color it is. This shirt is so comfortable, and I just love the softness of the fabric and the drape on me. It definitely has been a nice addition to my t-shirt collection, which now is 3 shirts, all Hansie tops. For the second Hansie top, I used this Japanese crinkle cotton that I had in my stash. I believe the colorway is called Secret Garden. The shirt is very cute. It came out really nice. However, I don't love the way that it drapes on me when I'm wearing it. For some reason, at the top, it just seems a lot boxier, and it kind of just doesn't have as flattering of a fit as my other 2 shirts that are in heavier weight cotton and linen. I do think that this shirt would be super cute in the summertime though, with just like a sports bra underneath, or maybe layering it over a tank top dress, or pairing it with a skirt and just having a tank top underneath. So here is the Hansie top that I made in the crinkle cotton. And actually, I feel like it's looking a lot nicer on the camera than how I've perceived it in real life. But it's just really high. It's like really high on the neckline, which it's the same as the other 2 Hansie tops I made. But because of the drape of this fabric, it just feels like it sits weird. But let me know what you think. Plan on wearing it more in the summer. I wish that I had a better sense of styling, because I literally never know how to wear clothes, and it's just something that I've been working on. Like, oh, you can layer a long sleeve shirt underneath a t-shirt, but I've tried doing that with this shirt and I feel like it looks kind of funny. Maybe let's just try it really quick and we can see how it looks, and we can have a learning opportunity together about layering. So yeah, this shirt specifically, I feel like layering it with a long sleeve tee, it just looks kind of weird to me. But I mean, I don't know, would you wear this in the wintertime? I'll try this exact same look with my chambray one and see if it has a different effect. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is just really boxy. It's not doing me any favors with the long sleeve shirt, but I do like the way that it looks without the long sleeve shirt. I think it's just really cozy and casual, and you can kind of tuck it in too if you want into your pants. I think it's just a nice shirt. I highly recommend this fabric. This chambray fabric from Blackbird is so soft and cozy, and I have really enjoyed wearing this. The second pattern that I worked on was the Bilbo vest by Thread on Yarn. I was really attracted to the style of vest because it has a really high neckline. You can also make it quilted or fully lined. It just felt like a really nice layering piece to add to my wardrobe, and it seemed very practical. It comes in 2 views, a shorter cropped view and then also a longer full-length vest. And you can either finish the vest with buttons down the front, or you can do a side tie and have it be kind of more open. The vest can also be made reversible, which I thought was super cool, just to be able to have less garments in my wardrobe, but be able to just turn it inside out and have another garment. I decided that this was going to be the first thing that I tried quilting, and I went through all of my fabric scraps, I squared them up, and I sewed them together. I was pleasantly surprised at how straightforward and satisfying patchworking is, and I think it was something that was really intimidating to me when I was considering making a quilt, but because I was working on this small vest, it just seemed a lot more approachable. For my first vest, because I actually made 2 last month, I did the crop version in the size D. For the top layer, I did the patchwork fabric that I had created. I put batting on the inside, and then I went to my local quilt shop and just got some quilting cotton in a light beige color for the inside because I wanted it to be reversible. The sewing pattern was great. I feel like I was able to make this relatively quickly. There were a couple sections of the pattern that I felt maybe needed a little bit more explanation, but I was able to figure out what I needed to do. When I finished my first vest, I loved it. However, I was kind of bummed out because it was just super big on me, like really big. I also really enjoyed the crop length, but I felt like it was just a little bit too short. I still have been wearing it quite a lot, but it got to this point where I was just thinking like, I should just make one more of these the way that I like it, because then it will just be the perfect vest. I ended up making more patchwork fabric, and I changed some of the colors, but it's pretty similar to the first rendition that I did. Instead of going to my local shop to get more fabric for the lining, I was considering using this felted wool that I've had laying around for the last couple of years, and I ended up making this vest with wool, and I just did the 2 layers, and I decided to make it non-reversible and just have the wool on the inside and then the patchwork on the outside. I went down from a size D to a size B to kind of get a better fit, and I decided to make it in the full length version. I did make a couple mistakes with the full length version. For Lorna's pattern in view B, for the backside, when you're cutting it out, it doesn't say to cut on the fold, and I should have thought about it before I cut the fabric with the wool that I had, but I ended up cutting 2 pieces instead of cutting 1 piece on the fold, and then I realized my mistake right after I had cut it, but unfortunately I had just enough wool fabric to make this vest, and so I sewed the 2 back pieces together with a 1/2 inch, I think it was a 3/8 inch seam, just to kind of stretch as much fabric as I could, and I believe that the sewing pattern had a 5/8 inch seam allowance, and then I ended up just reducing the seam allowance throughout the pattern to kind of make up the 1/2 inch or so that I lost when I cut it as 2 pieces instead of as 1 piece. It worked out really well, and I was really proud of myself for being able to like figure out how to fix that mistake. The fit is perfect, and it's very fitted, and I was super worried because I went down 2 full sizes, and then I also made that cutting mistake and lost another 1/2 inch on the pattern, and so I was super worried that it wasn't gonna fit. The wool also made the second version way thicker than the first one that I had sewn up, but it did end up fitting really well. I love where it ends on my hip. However, I can't wear this vest because I am allergic to wool. I've been kind of thinking that I have a wool allergy, but for some reason I was just like, oh, it's gonna be fine. It's felted wool, it's really soft. I was just wanting to use the fabric because it's so nice, and I've worn the vest 3 or 4 times now, and every single time my neck will start to get itchy and then I'll break out in hives. And I think it would be way too much effort to unpick it because the entire pattern is lined with bias binding. And also when I put the binding on, I trimmed down the seam allowances quite a bit. And so if I were to unpick it, the pattern would become even smaller. And so unfortunately, I'm thinking about making a 3rd Bilbo vest, which, you know, it's fine. It's just part of the process of figuring out the right fit for yourself. The first one though, that's cropped, that's a little bit too big on me. I'm still wearing it all the time. I think I wear it almost every other day, and I did make it reversible, but what I've found is that I love the patchwork so much that I end up wearing the patchwork side exclusively. And because the reversible vest has buttons on both sides, it's a lot harder to button up because I have the buttons mirroring each other on each side, and so it's just really thick. And so when you're trying to button the vest, it can be kind of difficult. So if I were to make a third vest, which I probably will, I will make the long full-length view in a size B without wool. And I think it will just be a lovely wear. I don't know if I'm gonna get around to that in November or not, or if I'm gonna do another patchwork version, or if I just wanna do a solid color and kind of change it up. So here's the patchwork side of the vest. I used all remnants from fabric that I've made projects with in the past. And then I lined the vest with quilting cotton that I made bias tape out of. And then the inside is fully reversible. It turned out so cute, and I still have been wearing, even though it's too big on me, I've still been wearing it like all the time. Well, this shirt's really long, so it's not the best combo, but it's so cute. I moved the buttons over quite a lot, and so this is overlapping and it kind of looks more kind of kimono style. This is the first version. It's pretty loose. There's quite a lot of space. And then the second one is similar. However, I used this brown gingham that I had laying around, and I also used this green organic cotton that I had. So there's a little bit more green and browns in here. And then also this version is a couple inches longer. I did not make this one interchangeable. So it has an inside and it has an outside. And then here's the inside wool lining, the seam running down the inside because I had to fix the mistake that I made. But just to compare, so this one's sitting right here with this long shirt on. And then when I put on this other version, that's 2 sizes smaller, I feel like it's just sitting a lot nicer. But yeah, this one feels really snug, and I love the length of it. And I still kind of had it overlap quite a bit because I kind of liked this look of having it really overlapped on the neckline, but it doesn't gape out at all, and it fits me really well. But like I said, I lined it with wool, and I've been having an allergic reaction every time I wear it. And so I just posted it on Lucky Sweater. If you're on that app and you're interested in trading, please feel free to reach out if you're interested in this vest. So the last thing I made in the month of October was the Cornell shirt by Elbe Textiles. It's a long sleeve button-down shirt with a grandpa style collar. And for the button placket, you can choose to do the full length placket, or you can do it where it's 3/4 length and it kind of ends right around your belly button. It has drop shoulders and a pleat detail along the back right underneath the yoke. I got the sewing pattern so that I could make a shirt for my husband because his birthday was coming up, and it actually was yesterday. And I'm proud to say that I was able to make a successful toile, and I was also super happy with the finished shirt that I made in the fabric that I shared with you guys last month. I've never sewn any patterns with Elbe Textiles before, but let me tell you, this sewing pattern company is so detailed and clear in their instructions. I found it to be such a pleasure to sew up this shirt, and I've attempted to make a button-down shirt 4 times now. This was the first time that I was able to make a shirt and use the burrito method and actually really grasp and understand what the process was, because the directions were just so clear and the pictures were so easy to follow that it made it a very pleasant and pleasurable experience. So I really recommend getting a pattern with Elbe Textiles, and I know that I'm going to purchase another pattern because I have a pattern that I've been looking at for the month of November that I want to make. For the toile, I ended up using this viscose linen that I got from Blackbird Fabrics. The texture felt a little bit scratchy to me. I ended up using it to make this toile for my husband because he said that he liked the fabric and that he would wear it. I feel like it came out really well. The buttons look really nice, and I feel like the collar came out super nice as well. The back has this little detail where you can hang the shirt up on a hook, which is kind of cool. And then here's the pleat that runs down. I forgot to mention that this pattern has a curved hem. Because it's such an oversized shirt and it has this pleat in the back, it would kind of sit weird on his back where the bottom part of the shirt underneath the yoke, it would kind of flare out and it kind of created this tent effect. And we didn't find that to be super flattering. And so I was concerned about making another version of the shirt because we were just not loving the fit. But when we measured him and we were looking at the shoulders and the top part of the chest, it seemed like the shirt fit really well. And so I decided to hack the pattern, which it's the first time I've ever done significant hacks on a pattern. What we decided to do for his second shirt is I removed the back pleat. I also completely removed the curved hem from the bottom. And because the curved hem ends up adding a couple inches to the shirt, I lengthened the shirt by, I think, an inch. So it was still going to be a little bit shorter than the original pattern, but I did account for the fact that I was removing that curved hem. And then I ended up taking in the side seams each by 1 inch. The second version of the shirt I made in this beautiful textured cotton that I got from Blackbird Fabric. This is the shirt that I made for him, and the color is coming out a little brighter on the screen because of the lighting than what it looks like in real life, but it's just this really beautiful fabric with like yellow, red, and blue lines going down. For the buttons, I chose to do these really cute floral buttons. They almost look kind of like a Mexican style. And then for the buttonhole openings, I use this bright yellow thread, and so it just has this really festive feel to it. The shirt fits him so much better than the first version. The only thing that we would change is we would make it like 2 inches longer than what it ended up sitting at on his waist. But overall, it turned out really well. I'm super proud of this shirt. Before I get into my November plans, I just wanted to mention this whole serger situation with everyone. So last month, I kind of vowed to myself that I was going to use my serger, and I had a couple people comment being like, just do it, just try it. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it. This is the motivation. I'm gonna get this done. This is my goal. I did pull out the serger and I troubleshooted it, and I had my husband help me with part of it. The conclusion that I've made from this $30 serger that I got on Craigslist is that it's not functional, unfortunately. So I'm not able to start serging yet, but I did add a serger to my wish list for Christmas, and we'll see what happens. I wasn't sure what model to go with, mainly because I really don't have the budget to buy a nicer serger. It seemed like a lot of people have good things to say about the Brother 1034 model. It's like a very beginner, budget-friendly model. If you have that serger and you have any comments or your take on that model, please feel free to let me know. If you have a different model or brand that you use that is affordable, that works well for you, please leave a description below. I'd love to hear what kind of serger you're using. Getting into my makes for November, I don't have too many on the roster, but the first thing that I'm working on, which I actually started last night, is the Paola workwear jacket by fabricstore.com. This sewing pattern seems to be tried and true in the sewing community. Everyone mentions what a straightforward and easy pattern it is. It's a boxy style chore jacket with 4 pockets in the front, and then it has flat felled seams for the finishes. It's unlined on the inside. Basically, so far I've only put the pockets on, and I kind of decided not to put on the top 2 pockets because I just don't feel like these pockets are really functional for me. They're not practical, and I never have enjoyed the look of it. So I just have 2 pockets on the bottom. For the fabric, I chose this softened organic cotton twill that I got from Blackbird Fabrics in the colorway Teak. And then I had a little bit of fabric left over from my husband's shirt that I just showed you, and I felt like the colors worked really well together. So I decided that I was gonna kind of color block the jacket. It's almost like a camel color. And then this is the part with the pockets attached. And for the back, I have the color blocking, and I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be something that I love or not, but I just really felt adventurous and I was really wanting to try it out. And I'm loving my patchwork vest. I wear it so much that I just wanted to kind of add some intrigue and some personality to this jacket. For my next make, I am on the fence. I'm either going to make another Hinterland dress because the first two that I made, I don't feel like the fabric that I used really do the pattern justice. I have this medium weight linen that I feel like would be really cute as a Hinterland dress. I was in between making it sleeveless again so that I can layer long sleeve shirts underneath, or I was thinking about making it either short sleeved or long sleeved. And then I want to do a full button placket down the bottom so that you can wear it as a dress or you can unbutton it and wear it kind of as a duster. So I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm still kind of figuring it out, but the fabric is this everyday linen from Blackbird Fabrics, and it's in this green colorway. It's kind of hard to see again in this light, but it kind of looks like the color of an avocado. I mentioned this in a past video. It kind of looks like an avocado that's been oxidized just slightly. I think that would be really cute. I also have this other fabric that I've been considering using. However, it's the same viscose linen blend that I showed you, that striped shirt that I made for my husband. It's the same fabric, it's just a different colorway. It does feel quite a bit softer than the striped fabric though, so I was thinking about making the dress with this fabric. It's in this kind of coral pink color. The one thing is I don't feel like this color suits my skin tone very well. I feel like it just doesn't work. What do you think? Do you think that this color works? The other thing that I really want to make is the Estuary skirt by Sew Liberated. I've been eyeing this skirt for quite some time. It's a full-length skirt that has a button placket going down the entire front, and it has these beautiful big pockets on the sides. It has a waistband in the back and then a flat front, and so it looks very fitted and tailored, but it also has that ease and flexibility that you get with elasticated waists. I am thinking about making it in one of these two fabrics. Basically, I'm in between the Hinterland dress or making the Estuary skirt. I'd love to hear your vote because I have these two fabrics. I guess I could make a skirt in one and I could make the Hinterland dress in the other. My main thing is I'm just really trying to not purchase any fabric until I run through my stash, and so I'm kind of going through a little bit of analysis paralysis at the moment. So if you could help me out, I would love that. And then the last two projects that I have planned for this month are potentially the Sage Top by Seamwork. It is this V-neck style blouse that has buttons going down the middle, and it's a long sleeve shirt with these seams running down your chest all the way to the hem of the shirt. It has a little bit of volume in the sleeves, but not so much that it feels overwhelming. I was thinking about making that shirt in some of the remnants I have from this viscose that I got that I used to make a Hinterland dress last month. I don't love this fabric because it feels really cool to the touch and it just doesn't have that coziness that linen or cotton has. But I thought because of the drape and the fact that it is a nice fabric and it was expensive, I thought that I could try making a long sleeve top and see how that turned out. And for my last pattern, I wanted to make a pair of Fremantle pants from Elbe Textiles. I have this black linen that I got from Blackbird Fabrics. And it's just a basic black linen. Oh, actually, it's a cotton linen twill. So it's 70% cotton and 30% linen. And oh, it looks like they gave me an extra ½ meter, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I wanted to make my husband these pants for his birthday, and I didn't get around to it because I was so busy making his two shirts. And so I was thinking about making these pants because we're going to Mexico in December, and although these pants probably wouldn't be great for wintertime where we live, it would be really fun to be able to bring him on vacation and for him to have a nice kind of lightweight, linen-y pair of pants. Those are my plans for this month. I would love to hear what you're making, and any inspiration that you have with the sewing projects that you're working on, or any sewing patterns that have come into your life that seem really exciting. I would love to share, so please feel free to comment and say hello below. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me and be able to let me chat your ear off about my sewing projects. I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you next time.